Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Webster Tarpley here in Washington, D.C. I already recommended Obama, the Postmodern Coup, the making of a Manchurian candidate. Very timely. You want to know how a color revolution works? Read the essay by Jonathan Malwatt in that book, one of the best manageable size accounts of the entire genesis of these color revolutions, going from Otpor in Belgrade all the way down to Kiev and well beyond that. And, of course, the Obama campaign itself pioneering the use of Facebook, Twitter, the social media, and that has then been recycled back into the foreign destabilization operation. So the Chinese Youth Daily says, no, not so fast. Now, when the Chinese Youth Daily speaks, we have to figure that's the Youth League faction of the Chinese Communist Party. So interesting questions now raised. We are in the middle of a succession, right? We're going from the current president to President Xi, and what does it mean? Will they be tougher? The idea, of course, is, generally speaking, these two sort of vaguely defined tendencies. The Youth League faction, they're concerned about the standard of living in rural China, the interior, the way the masses would be responding to these things. And then the globalizers, of course, coastal, westernized, interested in financial speculation, having more money, not close to the edge. What are the power relations between those? And as I reported, I believe, on Russia Today more than a year ago, if you keep attacking China through these various ways, you're going to radicalize the succession process. You're going to give more weight to, I believe, the people in the Youth League faction who are interested in a tougher line, and you're undercutting your own stooges, the globalizers, right, the globalists that are there. But now let's shift gears. The World Economic and Financial Front has now gone center stage once again, and this, of course, is a convergence of the European crises that we've talked about last week, the Club Med sort of southern tier of the euro, in huge crisis, but not only. We've got bankruptcies of federal states in northern Germany, right? Schleswig-Holstein approaching bankruptcy, Berlin approaching bankruptcy, Bremen, right? So we're in northern Germany, in Saarland, which is at least northwest, or northwest Germany. This is now one prong. The other prong, of course, we got this continued agitation by the most extreme reactionary and proto-fascist lunatics of the Tea Party caucus to bankrupt the United States government. And there are a number of factors that make that prong look much more threatening than it would normally be because of a combination of ideological fanaticism, but also the lifeboat ethics that you see in the ruling class, that the pie is no longer big enough for everybody to have a share, so somebody's going to get triaged. And now those are the conditions under which the blockage in the Congress could occur. Anyway, as of Thursday, the Wall Street Journal, economic outlook darkens, markets stumble as factories hiring slow down, biggest drop in stocks in a year. That's the Wall Street Journal. Rupert Murdoch view. Let's listen to the sort of the center right wing of the ruling class. This was the extreme right we just gave you. The extreme right Wall Street Journal. Now we go to the center right Washington Post. Few remedies left as recovery momentum lags. Stock markets plunge. And what's gotten their attention, as often happens, is the stock market, 280-point loss in one day. Now, this is the phenomenon. Let's just tick off the points in the phenomenon, because this is now coming together in a relatively, well, at least it's a somewhat conclusive picture that something rather large might happen soon. What they were talking about in terms of the stocks, just to start from there, if the Dow goes down 280 points in one day, that's a loss of 2.2%. And that's the worst result for the stock market in more than a year. In particular, in the middle of that, the zombie banks have gotten hit. The zombie bank stocks, Bank of America down 4.3% on that fateful Wednesday, the first day of June. Citibank down 3.7%. So indicating that the lack of confidence in the zombie banks is twice as large or thereabouts as it is for the rest of the economy. This came on the heels of a decline in housing prices, right? Remember, the whole attempt has been to restart a housing bubble with securitization, with credit default swaps, or certainly collateralized debt obligations. According to a combination of S&P and Case-Shiller, the prices are now back to the levels of 2003, 2004, and the prices have declined by 4.2% in the first quarter of this year. These home prices have been going down, down, down for 8 months. We're also told by the Wall Street Journal that the mortgage financing market in the United States is moribund, in not good shape, very bad shape. Now, there's more. As of this morning, and this morning means Friday, the 3rd of June, the U.S. unemployment rate has ticked back up. We're now above 9% again, 9.1% unemployment. The street, the various stock jobbers and touts down there in lower Manhattan had been expecting 180,000 new jobs, but no, it's only 54,000 new jobs on the non-farm payroll. So they're all worried about this. We're also told now in recent days, the Institute for Supply Management has told us that the United States, it's a sort of a proxy for industrial production. This is the biggest decline in the Institute for Supply Management since 1984. So 27 years, a third of a century almost. It hasn't been this bad. It went from 60.4, indicating some kind of modest expansion in April, to 53.5 in May. And again, these are phenomena, right? This is not the essence. We'll get to the essence in a minute. Private sector hiring down sharply in May. Housing values down. And the other thing now, getting into what affects Wall Street more, the QE2, right, the liquidity injection is ending as of June 30th. Helicopter Ben had been flying his helicopter, and the QE2, $600 billion announced, and I'm sure more behind the scenes, that was supposed to maintain. It was a way of, pumping up the stock market. It's, the PPT, plunge protection team in a new form. That has been going on now for quite a few months. That's going to end on June 30th, we're told. Now, the street, the Wall Street characters are already demanding QE3. They can't get enough of this cheap credit. We got reports from the states that the states are having to pay more on the social services, yeah, of course, unemployment, and that their tax revenue is very weak. Result, the Bush bailout has failed, the Obama stimulus has failed. Time for the 5-point program you see at the top of Tarpley.net. Back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.